Streets of fucking rage. Because that's what you're going to feel after you're done with this game. Playing on normal with the default control setup. I will at one point later on go back to play through on hardest. The game's not so bad when you play through it a few times and get used to how everything works and, you know, basic stuff. And yes, I chose Blaze because she is quick and, well, I just like her throw. Very devastating stuff. This is just basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up with a time limit of score and lives. That kind of reminds you of Final Fight, and a lot of Super Nintendo fanboys will prefer Final Fight over this, but this completely owns Final Fight. For one reason, it doesn't have well, it's just not Final Fight. That's why it's so much fucking better. If you want to kill these guys quickly, you will of course want to get in close and grab them. Grabbing is automatic, which is unfortunate, as you will see later on in my later recordings. There's an apple over there if you need it. I shouldn't explain what an apple or any kind of food in a video game will do for you. I'll say it anyway for those of you who are slow. It restores health. Apples restore a smidgen of health, and roast beef restores an entire bar's worth. And that's what I call it, roast beef. It looks more like mutton, but I call it roast beef because I like roast beef. And just a note, typically enemies with weapons take first priority. I got lucky that he took a swing at me while I suplexed his friend on the back of his head. As I said, grab is automatic. You can hit the punch button to kick them up to 2 times. Then after the second kick, if you hit the punch button again, you will do a little weird combo. Blazes, I think, is glitched. It doesn't really do all that much damage, but it's alright. I typically don't like to use combos that much, but if I get 3 or 4 enemies on one side of the screen and all clustered together, then yeah, I will combo them to death. Oh! Enemies have been generic so far, but now we get these bitches. And they get worse as the game goes on. And there's the full health restore I was talking about. That's a roast beef. They have whips, therefore they have range over you. What you want to do is try to stay... I would get diagonal to them, and then go down and grab them. And here's the first boss, this guy. And I will illustrate a very valid point. This guy has a kick, and it hurts like hell. Don't let him kick you. If you're wondering why I wait between kicks and throws or whatever, it's because if you wait, you will maximize the amount of damage you can do with your punches and kicks. And a special treat for you guys, I actually got 2 stages in. Well, they're called rounds, but I call them stages. And just so you guys know, if you've ever played this game, I didn't have to continue until the last stage of the game, where I continue twice. And when that time comes where I get owned, I will humbly ask anybody who's watching for strategies on how to take care of who's epically owns me. Final boss isn't that big of a fucking deal, but oh god. Don't want to spoil anything, but a later boss is basically a palette swap of Blaze here, and I don't know what's worse, is the fact that they can do a lot of damage, or the fact that they just jump around like fucking idiots, but you'll just see what I mean. Guys with knives, typically, you want to take care of them. And also, guys with knives typically have more health than most other enemies. Yes, I do that backwards toss a lot. It is just awesome, and I do remember that I use that a lot, so I try to switch it up. Use suplexes. Free lives. Always grab those whenever you can. Oh, so lucky she didn't get me there. Not really a whole lot to say about this stage in particular, just a bunch of the same old enemies. They do get different variations or just palette swaps of other characters, but they have more health and they're typically more aggressive. And they do not suffer from double dragon syndrome all that much, so be careful. As I said, I don't condone weapons, but I do use knives, but unfortunately she threw the knife into the barrel. And there's another thing that you're going to notice in this stage, and I can't really stress it enough how much that pisses me off, but I guess we'll get to that too when we get to it. Jugglers. Get in close, punch them, and then throw them. If you do what I just did, you can take them out in one fell swoop and not have to worry about them. I just typically throw them back because it's just faster. It's a time-saving method more than anything. So yeah. What are you guys doing? Ever finished that book you were writing? You know, your novel? Huh? You ever finish that? Okay, I won't do that. The jugglers, amongst other cronies, makes life difficult as you will see here. I just get fucking frustrated here. Right there is when I fucking said, I've had enough, fuck you. And here I show off, for the first time, the special. Will completely fuck any normal enemy, regardless of difficulty setting, I believe. I believe, don't quote me on that. We have this Freddy Krueger wannabe, and this guy. You see that guy? You know, that guy up there? You know, the normal guy you've been beating the crap out of all throughout the stage? Well, he will get his revenge, because he will just constantly come at you with everything he's got, for all he's worth. Now, I believe there's only 4 or 5 of them that spawn in. After that, they stop spawning in. But they will stretch you long enough for Freddy Krueger over there to rip you a new one, so just be very careful. Oh, not only been 3, he doesn't show up again. Just go diagonal, just stay diagonal with him, and you'll be fine. Don't worry, we will fight him again, and I'll give you a more in-depth strategy then. End of part 1, I'll see you guys for part 2. See you next time.